What's going on, y'all? Taylor here with y'all 106.7, broadcasting from the Red Wing Shoe Studio. Today we are joined by singer, songwriter, actor, entertainer, so many words to describe you, Mr. Grayson Russell.
How's it going, everybody?
Welcome in.
Thank you.
How are we feeling?
Doing well.
Now, you just said we're your favorite radio station.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the only one in town I listen to.
Yep.
106.7. I'm usually out at Losers or wherever on the road really late. And so for me, when I cut it on and hear what y'all are playing, it's like, this is the stuff I like to listen to anyway. It's what I grew up listening to. So I love it. It's my
the
favorite
good
one.
stuff.
The good stuff.
Where's home for you?
Clanton, Alabama. I live here, but I'm from Alabama. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I'm a Mississippi girl, so we love the southern states. Now, people might recognize you from your movie time, Talladega Nights, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. At what point did we start doing music?
So I started touring doing gospel with my folks when I was 5. They have a gospel act that they do. I played with them Sunday morning for the first time in, 5 or 6 years. Wow. So I started traveling with them when I was 5. And then when I was 7, I had a band that sang solely Bee Gees music because I stole my dad's Bee Gees CD. So that was like a whole hard left turn. And then Talladega Nights happened. So I started singing by myself when I was 3 at different places, but I didn't start traveling until I was 5. So music came before the film, but only by a couple years.
So was it your idea to be an actor, or your
No,
parents were?
I had done commercials for the local car dealership, but they would use like the varsity cheer squad. Like Clanton's got 9,000 people in it. Not a real prestigious endeavor at all. But Talladega Nights was an open call in the newspaper because a lady thought Mom should take me, and the only reason we went was because Dad had a tournament he had to fish, and we were bored.
Yeah.
That was it. I couldn't read really well. Like I hadn't started the 2nd grade yet. I could do like cat and hat as about the extent of my mastery of the English language. So it was interesting. It wasn't something that I intended to do or be at all. And then of course we did it, and Michael Clark Duncan, the big guy from the Green Mile and Scorpion King, that's how I knew him. He set me up with his manager, and that's how I was able to stay in the game.
Yeah. The rest is history.
The rest is history.
Do you remember your audition?
I do. Funny enough, there was like 2,000 screaming kids in a high school in Birmingham, and I had no idea what was going on. I just walked in and did the stuff, and the casting director wrote something down on a sheet of paper in cursive. I couldn't read cursive. as a, I don't even know if I had turned 7 yet. She said, go out there and wait in the hallway, and I did, and then went in this other room, and come to find out the paper said good. She had written good in cursive. I had to ask somebody what it was, and I was like, okay, well, I guess that's all right. And went in and auditioned, and then I did again a couple weeks later. They said I got it.
And so how old were you?
7.
7.
7, yes, ma'am.
Give us a line.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Not this morning. It's a little early. I should be. I should have.
We need the Mountain Dew.
I should have. Yeah. Well, it's funny because I can't. I mean, I can drink Mountain Dew, but I can never drink Mountain Dew without somebody saying something. So I have to do it selectively, or else it looks like I'm asking for it.
Yeah, and you had no idea when you took that role that it was going to be so iconic.
No, ma'am.
I mean, that movie, it's just so great.
Yes,
People
ma'am.
still quote it to this day. So.
Yes, ma'am.
And before we get into your music, let's talk about what you're doing today, acting. You're on a new show.
Yes, ma'am. I'm on a TV show right now called Blue Ridge. It's the first series regular I've ever been in my life on a TV show. Growing up, all my mom's family lived on the same road, and so it was important to me once film kicked off. I didn't want to move the family off somewhere for years at a time. Yeah. So film was always nice to do because it was 2 months here, 3 months there. But once I graduated high school, it was all bets are off. So I've been really blessed to hop on this show called Blue Ridge. The first season's already out. I think you can stream it on Amazon. It's on Inspiration Network, so it's on TV, which is funny. It's my first regular. I'm in every episode for season 2, so we're excited about that. We don't have a date yet for when it comes out. I'm looking over. I got my manager in here with me, Mr. Joe Gerard,
who happens to work here.
Yeah, he does. He's the man. So we'll see. But I really love getting to it. I play the village idiot, so it's easy work. I walk in and screw everything up and then leave.
Hey,
so it's a good time.
Sounds like a fun job.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, congrats. That is so exciting. Which one do we love more? Acting, singing, or is it trying to pick a favorite kid? We love them both equally.
I love them both because with film, I did a film called Greyhound. We got nominated for an Oscar for it. It was this World War II film with Tom Hanks. There's not another job that I could get paid to wear World War II regalia made for World War II and stand on a 1938 model ship, get shot at, and get yelled at by Tom Hanks. There's not another job where I can do that, and that's a blessing, and I don't ever take that for granted. Mm-hmm. But I'm playing somebody else. I get to step into somebody else's shoes into a different world, and I get to do that, and it's wonderful. But when I do my music, I'm me. And so it's two entirely different segments of my life that I do love, but I love them for entirely different reasons. Long answer.
That makes perfect sense. Your latest track, Beneath the Bow, honors blue collar heroes.
Yes, ma'am.
And kind of about the Titanic.
Yes,
I was
ma'am.
reading in the thing.
Yeah,
so tell me about that.
So it's funny because when most people think of someone who's an actor or musician, don't always draw the line between that and blue collar workers. The cover art is me on a scaffold when I ran a scaffold crew in college at about 140 feet in the air over a paper mill. Like I said, I didn't mean to be an actor. I thought I was going to be a peach farmer or an architect. I wanted to be George Strait, and so we're still working towards that. But Beneath the Bow looks at blue collar workers. So for me, when we ran scaffold, or my family that's road crew, or my dad that's framed houses his whole life, and I've helped him do that for the better part of mine. It draws a connection between these individuals who are making this nation run and going, hey, I'm feeling like this thing's going to hell in a handbasket and nobody's listening to me and I don't know what to do, and I'm doing my best to make this thing shake. It draws a line between that and a man working beneath the bow on the Titanic going, hey guys, I know y'all are all partying up there and y'all are having a good time, but there's something horrifically wrong down here and we can't fix it without y'all, or else this whole thing's going down, and ultimately it does. So it draws a parallel between those two, and when I was approached with the idea for it, it's certainly one that I would have never thought in a million years of doing, and then once I started to kind of get my head wrapped around it, was one that I dove into immediately. It was one of the first ones that really came up when I started to put this record together.
It's very powerful, very descriptive, much like the music that we play, that's storytelling from beginning to finish.
Yes, ma'am.
But then your other song, Corn and Kerosene, is a little bit more vibey.
Yeah,
It's got some Southern
it's
rock feel to it.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have many layers to you, but I love the Southern rock sound, and I feel like we're almost in a time where that's almost becoming its own kind of genre, like the edgy,
yes, ma'am,
not by the book country boys. So I would love to hear more about what your 2025 plans are.
So it's really cool, and I mean, and cool is a god awful way to say it. I'm so blessed that I get to make a living doing the things that I love. Corn and Kerosene's about, what will you do? What will you sell? What will you buy? What will you buy and resell? What will you do to pay for your dreams? What extent will you go to pay your band to make this thing happen? No different than Jason Aldean's got a song called Crazy Town from back in the day that I grew up to that says you pay your dues and you play for free. And you live off the tips from a pickle jar. Like that is it. That's how it goes. What will you do to make your dreams happen? And for me, I'm so blessed that we'll go into Christmas, and Valentine's Day will probably drop another song, and then I'll go right on the set for 2 months. And so it's going to be back and forth between, okay, we'll drop music while we're working, and then we'll tour and we'll play it when we're not doing film. So it's just back and forth, and that's the way I want to do it.
When you're off filming, do you have downtime to write at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the shoot. Blue Ridge is the only one I've ever worked on where we almost exclusively work 10s. So we'll work 8 to 6 every day. With something like Greyhound, we might work 16s for 2 months. It just kind of depends. Your schedule's pretty erratic. The beauty of Blue Ridge is it's the only shoot I've worked on where people can wake up and take their kids to school, go and work on set all day, and still be back in time for dinner, which is really sweet and endearing. But it does leave enough downtime for me to write and for me to mix. Yeah. Which is difficult to do sometimes, having to phone it in, but yeah, it gives me time to work on everything else and shoot my content and do whatever to post while I'm doing something else.
Yeah. So. Well, maybe one day your worlds will collide and there'll be some type of singing role for you.
We'll see. We'll see. One day at a time.
Yeah, we'll manifest it. What are our holiday plans? And when you do have time to sleep, because it sounds like you're always working, what do we like to do in Nashville? Because I saw you. Where did I see you? Losers.
Losers.
I saw you at Losers.
I'm usually at Losers if I'm not doing something like this or working somewhere or sleeping. I'm usually at Losers with Skinny.
Little Skinny.
Skinny is one of the first people I met when I officially moved to town, and he's been my best friend certainly through all this craziness and kind of coming in town and figuring it out. I play utility, so banjo, mandolin, and acoustic, and sing for a guy who won a couple Grammys in gospel music, really tall guy named Guy Penrod, who used to sing with the Gaither Vocal Band back in the day. So we've got a Christmas tour coming up. So exciting. I'll be on the road with him. I'll get on the bus tomorrow night, and then we'll be more or less on the road straight through the 20th. So work till then, go home on the 21st, and then I'll be there till I've got some shows coming up with Skinny on the West Coast for New Year's. And so then it's right back at it.
You are a busy man.
Yes, I try to be.
What are you going to play for us today? You're going to play a song.
I'll play Beneath the Bow, if that's all right.
Let's hear it. We'd love to.